Hey, what's going on? This is my 2001 Honda Prelude SH, and this is probably going to be the final video I shoot on this car. And it's been a few weeks since the last update, and I've got a few people following this car, so I wanted to just make some give some last thoughts before I kind of close it down on this one, because I'm about done with my restoration of it, and wanted to just kind of give some impressions after owning it for a month and talk about a few other modifications that I've done on the car, and maybe be helpful to some people. So it is a 2001 Prelude SH. I got it for $2,900. It is July of 2019, which is a fair price. Car has about 200,000 miles, but it is one owner, and it was very well taken care of, and most of those miles were highway. So and it drives that way. It definitely drives great, no issues at all. And I've done a few videos in the past just talking about little minor things that I've fixed, but so I won't really go too much into that. But I did a good bit of restoration on the paint, and probably fixed 18 or 19 things I had on my list of just stuff to get the car in good shape. But really more what I want to talk about is just general impressions. If you're looking at one of these 5th generation Preludes, just general impressions about the car if you're thinking about buying one as a beater or as a project. So before I go into that, I will just show you a couple more things I've done since the last video. One is I added these Honda mud flaps. These are OEM, and just thought they would kind of round out the car the way it looked. And then I also, this actually is not stock, but I found these on eBay, and I like the way they look on the Civics, the 6th generation Civic Si. I think the 7th generation also had them. So I grabbed a set of those to match the same color stickers I put on the back, the dark gray. And I think it looks pretty cool. I did a few different designs before I came up with where I wanted them and how I wanted them to look, but I stacked the dual overhead cam sticker on top of the VTEC and kind of put it down there on the you know, kind of close to the back wheel, and I think it came out good. And I think I did last video, I talked about the custom intake and short shifter, of course, which has been fantastic. That is complete, and I've had that in now for about 3 weeks, and it's doing great. Had no problems at all with the short shifter. Did an alternator, and pretty much that's it. The car's running great. So just some final impressions again before I kind of close this one off. And yeah, so let me just talk about this car. If you're thinking about getting one, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is not a sporty car by any means. Now, 20 years ago, it certainly was. Now, I'm not saying I'm disappointed in any way. I knew exactly what I was getting. But, for example, a 6th generation Civic Si is going to feel sportier than this. Now, this is way nicer. This is premium. You turn the air on in this car, it is quiet, and it blows freezing cold, and it's powerful. You turn the air on in a 6th generation Civic or Civic Si, it's loud, it's weak, it's sad. And so this is a premium car. You push the buttons, they feel solid. It feels like, you know, like an Acura, really. It rides that way. It is quiet doing 80 or 90 miles an hour. Just everything about the car feels quality. Does it feel sporty by today's standards? Absolutely not. Back in the day, again, this was kind of lauded as a very sporty car, and I guess you could say it's sportish. But is it a sports car? Then it was. Now it's really not a very sporty car. It's very heavy. The steering, while the feel is fantastic and it's responsive, it's very heavy. The power, again, 20 years ago, this would do 0 to 60 in like 6.5 seconds, but it's only got, the torque is like 156, I think. So you know, it's kind of like a modern day BRZ. You know, a car that looks cool, but it's just slow, and it feels slow. You know, 6.6 seconds is respectable, and this car is still pretty quick, but it's just not fast, if you know the difference, what I'm trying to say. So, you know, it feels like a premium, near luxury, sportish car. And that's exactly what I wanted. I have a Fiesta ST that's a monster. It's modified to 304 wheel horsepower. So I've got that for that, you know, when I want to scratch that itch. This was different. I wanted a cheap beater. I wanted something that was classic looking, that felt analog, that would turn heads, that was rare, that was hard to find, and I got that exactly with this car. When you get in this car, it's quiet. It, again, feels very premium, and that's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted a relic, something that was kind of a throwback from times past that still looked good and drove good. And I'm putting about, I don't know, maybe 500 miles a month on this car now, and really enjoying it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Prelude. If you're thinking about getting one, you know, I would just say that most of them, I've probably looked at 20 before I bought this one. Most of them are pretty beat. You know, do your research, make sure you don't get a car that's been modified, you know, by someone that didn't know what they're doing, and just know what you're getting into. I would not suggest turning this into a project in terms of turboing it. If you turbo these, you've got a lot of work to do to catch up in terms of the other stuff you're going to have to do, and you're just going to be dumping in thousands of dollars into a car that's worth maybe $2,000 or $3,000. And so I would do that to a Civic, but not to a Prelude. This is a premium car. It deserves to be driven that way, not to be beat on. It doesn't have the bones to make a good fast car, in my opinion. There are some fast Preludes out there, but I don't think this is the best platform for it. But having said that, it's a great car. Again, if you're looking for a throwback, if you're looking for something to you know, bring some nostalgia, to turn heads, to have something that, you know, there's 1,000 Civics out there, but I've seen maybe one of these in my town, and I live in a big town, half a million people. So there are just not a lot of them around. And if you're looking for something to kind of fit that niche, I think this is a great car for that. So I'll close with that. If you have any more comments or questions, you're welcome to leave them. And I'm really happy with this car. It's $2,900. I've put maybe $600 into it with my alternator, stickers, need an alignment, you know, just a few other small things that I've done to it. Got a windshield, that was $200. But for $3,500, this has been an awesome investment, and hope to drive it for years to come if it holds up, and I think it will. So thanks for watching, and hope this is encouraging to you. And if you have questions again or comments, leave them. And good luck with your cars. Be safe. God bless you.